The Dust Bunny. Cecilia had to save him. After all, dust is partly made up of the bits we leave behind. On the day of his birth, Cecilia looked down at the tangle of weaved dust shaped like a rabbit and understood what her mother meant when she complained that Granny's house was filled with dust bunnies. She sat still and watched as the lifeless clump started to breathe and open its grainy eyes. "What's your name?" Cecilia asked. "Don't have one. I'm just born." The bunny stood and sneezed. "Sorry. Allergies." "A dust bunny with allergies?" Cecilia laughed. "I'll name you Dusty." Everything about him was gray and dusty, from his scrunchy nose to his puffy tail. A thin stream of dust emanated from his body when he hopped. But Granny's home was a life-giving bounty for a dust bunny, and the more he frolicked, the larger and stronger he grew. Soon Dusty was bigger than a well-fed cat, and together he and Cecilia played the most wonderful games. None was better at hide-and-seek, for Dusty could change into the most clever shapes, and Cecilia was no longer afraid of the dark, because Dusty was always at her side. For dust bunnies are among magic's most loyal creatures, and when he nuzzled her neck, she got a frickly, tickly feeling inside. He was her best friend and confidant, and of course, there was the magic. Dusty could explain things Cecilia didn't understand, things her parents whispered about. "You're going to have a baby brother," Dusty told her. Cecilia's face lit up. She wanted to share her happiness. "You should use your magic for yourself sometimes. What do you want, Dusty?" "Dust bunnies get just one wish. I must save it." "Save it for what?" "Something important." The news was not always happy. It was Dusty who told Cecilia that Granny was sick. "Can you save her?" Cecilia asked. "It's beyond my power." After that, Cecilia stopped seeking Dusty's help and took to sneaking and listening to her parents' whispers without him. "They're going to sell Granny's house. What will happen to you?" "Only one thing can make me disappear, and it is not this." "They talked of vacuums, dusters, and mops," she sobbed. "Don't cry. None of these can take me away." But Cecilia knew Dusty was wrong, and she had to find a safe place for him. "The attic," Cecilia pointed up. "It's the dustiest place in the whole wide world, and it never gets cleaned. You could live up there forever, Dusty." "There's only one way I can live forever." "This is it. They will never reach you up there, and there is so much dust you could grow so big that they could never clean you up." But the door to the attic was in the ceiling and very high. It was even too high to reach while standing on a chair. Cecilia's parents were having another one of their whisper talks, so she grabbed the stool from the kitchen and placed it on the chair. Still not high enough. Then she went to the shelf where Granny kept her thick books. "But how will you see me?" Dusty asked. Cecilia was doing her best to keep her balance atop the last book of the tower she had built. Dusty sat on her shoulder, nuzzling her neck. "I will see you every time I close my eyes, every time I get that frickly-tickly feeling inside, and, of course, when I sneezed. I won't forget you, Dusty, not in a million years." Dusty shed a dusty tear. "You will, but I promise to never forget you." For many years, Cecilia kept her word. She remembered Dusty when they buried Granny. Cecilia kept her word when her parents sold Granny's house. And she remembered Dusty when she got those frickly-tickly feelings inside, and, of course, when she sneezed. But after many years, Cecilia came to forget magic did exist. So Dusty turned back to the dust from which he sprang. But he used his last wish to keep his last promise, and he never forgot her. If you enjoy the power of stories, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and consider purchasing my book, Hitching Devils, and other stories. A link to that short story collection is in the description. What are we without our stories?